Hi everyone! Welcome to episode 27 of the Cherry Heart Crochet and Crafty podcast. My name's Sandra and I'm coming to you from my crafty little house at the end of our garden in Bedfordshire in the UK. How are you? Are you well? I hope so. Things are going well here. Really excited about Edinburgh Yarn Festival. It's not long. It's not long now. Yes, but we'll come back to that. Yes, so I'm Sandra and you can find the show notes for this podcast on my blog. That's cherryheart.co.uk. You'll find all the show notes there. You can also find me on Ravelry as Cherry Heart, and there's a group there, Cherry Heart's Cozy Corner, which you can find on the groups tab of Ravelry, and it's also linked from my blog. So is all my social media stuff actually. The blog is the easiest place to find everything. I've lost my flow, where was I? Oh yes, and Instagram. I'm Sandra Cherry HRT on Instagram. So yeah, what should we begin with? Better Out Than Stash I was going to begin with, because we're almost there. We're almost finished. The thread will be closing tomorrow. Yeah, so it'll be officially finishing tomorrow and I'll be closing the threads tomorrow. So if you've been taking part in that and you've still got something you want to enter, pop along to the group on Ravelry and pop it in the finished thread. So you have to have used 50 grams at least to pop that in there, and then if you've done any of the other challenges, all the details are on the thread, then you can have an extra post for any of those challenges that you completed. So that's all gone really well. So thank you everyone so much for taking part and keeping me company and trying not to buy too much yarn with me. It's really helped knowing that there's some of you out there that are doing the same thing and yeah, have been motivated to sort of, I don't know, look at our stash again and remember why we brought all those lovely things in the first place. I mean, not that we don't appreciate it normally, but I don't know about you, but if you've been doing it, I feel like I appreciate it even more now, because there are loads of lovely things in there. I don't, you know, although it's nice to add to it, and I will enjoy being able to add to it again, it's, yeah, it's nice to look at it and I don't know where this is going. Just appreciate it. I just feel like I'm thinking more, you know, I'm still going on all the, you know, following the Instagram links and going to Etsy, and I'm looking at the shops and things, but I'm sort of looking at it and I'm enjoying that and I'm liking looking at them, but I'm not feeling that same just because I like it I have to buy it thing, you know, just because I like it, you know, well, is it really different than anything I've got? Have I got anything in mind I need to make with it right now? And yeah, it's making me sort of think about it, think about what I buy a little bit more. That's got to be a good thing, I think. So yeah. But having said that, now we're coming to the end of it. Edinburgh Festival is coming around, so it will also be nice to sort of go there and sort of feel that I have been good for 2 and a bit months now. And so if I want something, it will be quite well deserved. So that's quite a nice feeling as well. And I thought I would just quickly show you. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, just a reminder, you know, if you haven't entered, which I have said, if you haven't entered, go and enter on Ravelry, but just that there are some really good prizes on there to be won. There's details of that in the thread as well, but I've had some lovely things given to me to give away, so that's rather exciting. So you want the chance to win them, is my point. So I just thought I'd give you a little heads up here. This is my little yarn tracker that I put in my bullet journal. So this is how I've done. This is my in, so I have had some in. But I've been sent some things, so I kindly received a gift, and I also had some things come in. I signed up for 2 yarn club thingies, but that was before I knew I was doing this, so that was before January, but they actually arrived within this time. So I've got a little bit of in, so that's 350 grams, but this is my out. The pink is January, and February is when my incoming is. The peach is February, and that's my out for February. So I had 800 out in January and 1,250 out in February. And I haven't put March on yet, but I don't think there's much to add to it yet. Obviously after Edinburgh, this might this colour might grow considerably, but hopefully this will a bit as well, and then hopefully I'll still be, you know, incredible. But I thought that wasn't bad, so I haven't got 0 in, but that's, you know, in terms of what I've actually brought, it's 0. It's just I have still got some, even though I haven't brought it. You know what I mean, don't you? But yeah, I know some of you have been sort of telling me how you've been getting on, and I've really enjoyed sort of you telling me what you've been doing, how you've sort of organised your stash, or how you've been motivated by it, or how hard you're finding it. And some of you haven't got a single thing, you've got a 0 in your column, so extra bonus points to you for that if you've managed it. But yeah, and a lot of you, you know, even if you've got some in, you've managed to keep ahead on the out, so that's good. That's kind of the philosophy of it. Philosophy. Oh, stop it. Yeah, so anyway, so that's it really, isn't it? It's just thank you, and I shall close the threads tomorrow, as I say. I'll try and do it as close to midnight as I possibly can, UK time, to try and give you as long as possible. Yeah. But then, yeah, point being, I'll close the thread and then I will sort out and announce the winners probably next time, I guess. So after Edinburgh and everything like that. So yes, just quickly on Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So me and Sam are going up, and we're sort of making a bit of a weekend of it. So we'll be going up for Thursday, and then we're coming back on Sunday. And I think we're doing a knit night as well. Yes, but we're going to be sort of around, so I shall hope to bump into some people. I'm hoping to see some familiar faces and sort of to say some hellos. Well, I think we're going to go to the podcast lounge. I think we said Saturday, so I'm hoping we'll sort of get there at kind of the meet-up time, which is 1 to 2, I think, because I know a couple of other people are going at that kind of time, so it'd be nice to sort of see if I can see some familiar faces there. But yeah, just really looking forward to it, obviously. Kind of excited, and hopefully I shall see some of you there as well, which would be really nice. Be really good, and I'm going to try and remain brave, and if I see someone I recognise, actually do say hello rather than just think, oh, I won't know what to say. Yeah, I'm going to try and be brave. Wish me luck. It's difficult. I do get a bit shy, which I suppose is daft for a person that puts videos on the internet, but it's still true at the same time. Anyway, moving on to the main podcast fodder. So I'm feeling a little uncomfortable today because you can't see, but I've got just down here, there is a tumnus, a Bertum. Here he is. Look at him. Oh, what are you doing to me? Yeah. And every time I move, he moans. And if I try and lift my arm, he tucks his head over it. No, I want to rest on your arm. And he pulls it back down, don't you? Trouble. Yeah, so he's not being the most helpful podcast assistant at this time. Are you? Not much of a co-host, are you? Yes, what was I going to start with? Oh yes, what I've done. I am wearing what I've done. Let's go back so you can get a little view. Sorry, Bert. There he is with his head. Hello. Oh, God. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so Party on My Needle shawl that I'm wearing because I finished it. How exciting. I'll take it off actually so I can show you better. Bert's going to moan now, aren't you? Because I've got to have my arm back. So here we are. So you can see a little more clearly. Hope you can see that now because I can't see a thing. Yeah, so as you may know, if you were here last week, oh, that's the other thing I'm supposed to say at the beginning, isn't it? Thanks for watching, and thanks for coming back, and thanks for trying me out if this is your first time. This is a really professional podcast brought to you by someone who really knows what they're doing, clearly. Yeah, so if you remember, I had done the pink, but I didn't have this edging colour. So I tried out something I had from Stash, being ever so good and thinking, about my stash more and what could I use for that. So I tried an option from Stash and it was good, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. I wanted something a bit more bright and vibrant. And I'd kind of eyed up something that looked good online, but obviously I wasn't buying at the time. So I thought, well, I'll have to try and hold out for Edinburgh Yarn Festival or order it when I get back. But then the lovely Debbie from Daisy Stitches contacted me and said, well, how about this bit of merino that I had left over? Because I dyed up a unicorn tail that was called Glass Bottom Boat, I think it was called. And she said, well, I've got this one. It's not called that, but it is a really bright sort of aquary colour that you were describing. You know, I used some of it, but I've got some left. You're welcome to have it. I was like, well, that's amazingly generous. Anyway, it came through the post and I was just, oh, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I did see a picture of it before, but you never quite know from a picture, do you, quite how it's going to be. But look, I love it. It stands out. You can see it. It's great. So yes, thank you ever so much, Debbie, for that. That was really lovely. And Debbie was the lovely lady who also donated one of her project bags, one of her Daisy Stitches project bags for Better Out Than Stash, and they're really lovely as well. So lovely, Debbie. So yeah, so that is perfect. It's finished it off. It's exactly what I wanted. It's just right. So yeah, the edging I was just going to say as well. So I followed the pattern exactly as written. I did the smaller size. The only thing I changed was there was 3 types of edging, and I tried the loopy bind off that it gave, but I didn't quite like how it looked because it was a knitted, obviously because the rest of this shawl is knitted, because it was a knitted bind off. You sort of got a funny lumpy bit on each loop, which I didn't like, and also it was quite a faff to do. But I definitely wanted these nice loops, you see. So I thought what I would do is I would just bind off in a normal way, and then I just crocheted on. I just did some little chained loops. So I thought it's just going to be about 10 times quicker. So I've got the loopy effect, but I just did it with crochet. And I think the only sort of problem with that was where I cast off normally. What happened? Yeah, I tried to do it. I kept it really loose. I did it as loose as I possibly could, and it is quite loose, but I don't think it was quite loose enough. So really, I should have gone back and done it again, because it, as you see, it's flaring out okay. But what I haven't quite got is where the feather and, oh goodness, how can I show you? Where the feather and the fan pattern is in the shawl, it haven't quite had enough to be able to keep that on the edge. My edging's actually come reasonably straight-ish. I did, when I blocked it, I did sort of pull it down more to try and emphasise the kind of waviness, but you can't really tell that much now it's done. But, well, there you go, never mind. I sure as heck wasn't going to... I only noticed this when I was blocking it, you see, and I was trying to pull it out, and I thought, oh, I could do with a bit more give in this cast on edge, actually. But that would have meant undoing all the crocheted loops and picking up all the stitches again. And since they were like getting on for 400 odd at this stage, I thought, I'll just live with it. And then the only other thing is where you start in the middle here, I've got quite a sort of, I don't know if you can see that, I've still got quite a bump up the top there, which I'm in love with. Ideally, I would have liked to block that out and sort of made it completely straight, but again, that might be due to my not quite loose enough bind off that I couldn't pull it out quite as much, but I mean, it really is quite bumpy. I might have got it slightly straighter, but I still don't think I would have got it completely straight, to be honest. So I don't really like that it's left that bump in it. I don't know if that's just down to me in the way I cast off. I don't know if you've made this and you found the same, or you made it and you didn't find it. You found it worked straight for you. So it's probably just user error. But having said that, when I wear it, it just kind of folds down anyway. out the way and so you don't see it. So actually it's not really any kind of big deal at all. So I could have not mentioned it, but I did. I'm going to leave that on because although it looks nice and sunny and lovely here today, it is actually quite chilly. Yes, what? You alright? Try and rearrange the shawl. I've gone for a different camera setup today. I thought I'd try something a bit different because whenever I put something down here, like Party on My Needle Shawl by Hoki Locatelli, with all the sort of stuff behind it can be quite hard to read, so I thought I'd try and get a bit more of a little bit of nice crafty shell for you to enjoy, but also sort of like a slightly plainer bit. And also I've got the desk in front of me now, so I can put, perhaps it's a bit easier to see where things are to reach and show you. That's my little theory anyway. It does make me feel a bit like a newsreader because I've got the desk in front of me. Today at Cherry Heart headquarters. Yeah, still it's worth a try, isn't it? So this is what I've done. This is pretty much all I've done that I can show you because it is really, because it's about all I've done. I've got a couple of other things on the go, but it's all a bit secret squirrels at the minute, you see, so it makes it a bit difficult. But yeah, so let's move on basically into what I am doing now. So last time I was doing this, which is making this cardigan. Oh, I didn't tell you about the yarns for this. Well, I told you about the end one, but the other ones, this is, they're up here actually, look, you see them there. Herbs Black Regina is the main one, this one here, and the pink is Atomic Strawberry by 5 Moons, and the Regina one is Sledding Fun. And this is Blue Button Jar, which I think is discontinued, and that's Madeline Tosh. There's actually, as you can see, there's quite a ball of that left, so I don't know if you want that back, Debbie, because there's loads left. You could make something else out of it. Yeah, I'd send it back for you if you like, because it's worked out fab for me. You might want to use it for something else. Anyway, yeah, so back to this cardigan. So this cardigan, as you can see, is in the latest Simply Crochet. It's issue 54, if you would like a copy. And this is a pattern, I think it's called A Good Vintage, and it's by Fran Morgan. Yeah, A Good Vintage. There it is. Yeah, so I think it's quite clear why I might be interested in making that. Very crochet, very vintage, very Kath Kidston-y, very lovely. So this is what I've got so far. So I only had a tiny little strip last time, which was about here, I think, just that little bit. So I've added some more. And as you can see, I've sort of kept more or less to the pattern in terms of I've kept the alternate colour every other row. I've got this sort of beigey colour, and I'm just doing a random pattern for my other colours in between. So that will, I'll always change up the sequence of those because that's why I like to do it. It makes me happy. So the pattern is, there's been a lot of debate about this. I've posted about this on Instagram. And there's a lot of debate about it because the pattern is written in 4-ply yarn, but a lot of people, I'm assuming, don't necessarily have sort of a range of different colours and sort of things in stash in 4-ply, whereas they do possibly have a few sort of bits and pieces they could put together in double knitting, which is what I've done as well. I had a stash of, amazingly, I had a load of Sirdar Snuggly, this is, left over, and amazingly I had just this collection of colours. This one and this one is Rico, but all the rest are Sirdar Snuggly. What Rico is this now? Baby Classic Baby DK? Yeah, Rico Baby Classic DK. So I had those two to supplement it with, and they were just the perfect colours. I couldn't really have picked out better. I mean, when does that happen? That never happens. Yeah, so anyway, but they're a double knit. But as I had them in stash and as they were perfect, and as I actually had quite a bit of this as well to be my sort of main colour, I couldn't really not make it in double knit. It seemed daft to go out and buy a whole load of 4-ply in practically the same colours when I've got it all in double knit. So what I'm having to do is kind of modify, because obviously I'm getting a lot thicker. You know, I can't get my double knit to work up to the gauge of the pattern that's made with 4-ply. So the gauge in the pattern is 20 trebles by I think 11 rows on a 10cm or 4-inch square. So I am getting 18 trebles, and that is as small as I could get, and that's using a 3mm hook, which I don't know what that is in America, I'm afraid. Is it like a, do you even have an equivalent? 3.5 is an E, isn't it? So does that make it a D? Maybe even a C, I don't know. I'll put it down here in my nice clear box where you'll be able to see it clearly. Yeah, so that's on a 3mm hook and I'm getting 18 trebles. I'm actually getting 13 rows though. So that's even tighter than the pattern, even though my stitches are bigger than the pattern. What's up with that? I guess because, I don't know, let's not go into it. But basically I thought it's the stitches across that I'm more worried about, because obviously that's going to be how it fits around me, and I can just add more rows to get the length I need. You know, it's easier to add and take away rows than it is to sort of try and rework the numbers in the pattern for the stitches. So yeah, so I've gone with the 18 stitches, but because I'm not getting gauge, I can't make the size that I would normally make, which is a 10 to 12. Because I've got more stitches, it's going to come up too big. I did try it just to see if I could sort of get away with it, but it comes up way too big. So I've gone down a size, so I'm making the 8 to 10 size, and that seems to work out perfectly. I think using the gauge from the pattern, using the 12 to 14 size, this part of it without the button band on works out to about 96 centimeters, I think it was, or was it 98? Yeah, I think it's like 98, but this is with mine is working out to 96 using the smaller pattern and my bigger gauge. So that's working out quite well. That's pretty much spot on where it needs to be. And I've tried it sort of round me to see how it fits, and it seems perfect. The only downside is I am getting quite a, I don't know if you can sort of tell by me wiggling it around, I am getting quite a firm fabric. It's not exactly floppy and drapey by any stretch of the imagination. So it is kind of stiff, which is a little bit, you know, means it's not quite so pleasant to work, I suppose, because the hook is a bit small for the yarn really. If I had the option of going down 2 sizes, I would have done that. I would have used a bigger hook and I would have gone down 2 sizes. I think that would have been slightly nicer to work and would have made a slightly nicer fabric, but there isn't another size down that I can go, and like I said, I don't want to be sort of rejigging the numbers and having to think about that. I'm not up for that. I do just want to follow the pattern really as much as I can. So yeah, so what I'm hoping is, because it's acrylic, I'm hoping I will be able to put it in the washing machine and stick it in the tumble dryer, and that will soften it up nicely, because Snugly, I haven't tried the Rico I don't think, but Snugly definitely does. I've had many a baby cardigan made out of that in the past, and it washes up beautifully, so that's what I'm hoping will happen there. So yeah, so I thought I'd give you all the details about the hook and the tension and stuff that I'm getting, because yeah, people have been asking about it. So that's what I would say. I think if you're going to use a DK, you've got to be prepared to go down at least 1 size. Quite likely you might need to go down 2 as well, depending on what swatch you get and how tight you can sand your fabric being really. So there, that one is as far as that has got. So I don't know whether to take that one to Edinburgh because it would be a good one to do on the plane. But on the other hand, it's quite a lot of wool and things to take. And I don't want to take anything too bulky because I've got a plan for what I've got to get back. So I don't know. But I have got something else that I am definitely going to take because I haven't, shock of shock, actually got a pair of socks on their needles at the moment. What? I know. So I thought I'd take this. What do you think? This is my Molly Weasley skein and it's by Nordic Yarns. I showed this last podcast or a couple of podcasts ago because this was my one of my Christmas present treats because it's a yarn from America, and with the pound the way it is and the shipping from America and the custom charges that go on top, it means ordering from America is pretty prohibitive at the moment. To be honest, after this little Christmas tree, I can't really afford to do it at the moment. So yeah, so it makes these extra special and precious is what I'm saying. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Nomadic yarn, but she does so many utterly gorgeous. She's like the queen of self-striping basically. This is on her trusty sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and there's 462 yards of gorgeous self-striping loveliness. Sorry, my eyes are feasting on its loveliness. Yeah, so I thought this would be a great little project to take because it's self-striping, so you can just do a nice little vanilla sock. Nothing too arduous to think about. And it'll be perfect. And I want to do, what I've got in mind is to do a cuff, a toe, a cuff, a heel and a toe, but all in different colours to kind of mix in with the stripes. But I'm not sure I've got enough. I've got a nice orange that I was thinking for cuffs. I'm not sure I've got enough colours that will otherwise mix in. I'll have to look at that. And kind of my eyes are darting over there because I've got some of my 50 grams over there. And I was wondering, might work. Yes, snorting Bertram. Yeah, so I'll have to see. I'll have to look in my stash and see what I've got that I can take for that. So that might be my Edinburgh project. And then the only other thing I've got to share is my last little incoming. So this was what I got for hosting the Haviland Yarns Swapless Swap group. I don't know if you remember because the sign-ups closed a while ago, but before, when did we do it? October? November? Possibly October. Anyway, at some time before Christmas, oh, I can't remember her name now. Lisa. Yes, lovely Lisa of the Swapless Swap group on Ravelry contacted me about hosting one in the Cherry Hearts Cozy Corner group, so that you could sign up. The idea is it's for doing a mini skein swap, but when you're starting out you don't necessarily have minis to swap. So you sign up for this and you just pay the fee, but then in return you get a whole selection of different minis which you can then start your projects with, or it might start you off swapping if you've got enough to put in your project and have some left over. So I got some minis as part of this as well. So just in case you signed up for that and just in case you haven't had yours yet, I'm pretty sure everyone has, but just in case you haven't, then I'm about to show them now, so look away. Okay, have you gone? Here they are. Here's my minis from Haviland Yarns. So it's Carol at Haviland Yarns. Again, another lovely American dyer. So again, very much a treat for me being here in the UK. So I've got 10 gorgeous different colours. Aren't they lovely? Look, I think that might be my favourite. But then again, I'm very into pinks right now, and this is utterly gorgeous as well. And so is this. So, you know, there's lots of nice, beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, so that's one of the things that's made my little incoming chart have a little bit of peach colour on it. So pretty. But as you can see, I practically have to do another Happy Scrappy project now, don't I? Some sort of cosy memories, gorgeousness. I still can't bring myself to knit a cosy memories blanket. Knitting a blanket just blows my mind. It's too slow for me. It takes me too long. But I have got an idea of another one I kind of want to crochet, which again will be, the idea I've got will be really time consuming as well, so I'm kind of trying to resist starting it, but I really want to at the same time, and the idea's not going away. I've been ignoring it all year so far and it's still not gone away. So yeah, but they're perfect going to it. I really want sort of something, with my last one, my Happy Scrappy Square one, I kind of put anything in, darker colours, brighter colours, lighter colours, it's sort of anything goes kind of one, which is really nice. But this time, now I've sort of done the anything goes one, which I think is really good for the Happy Scrappy. It's very Happy Scrappy if anything goes, isn't it? Free and easy and happy and scrappy. But for this one, I perhaps want it to be just a tiny bit more sort of, not coordinated exactly, but just a little bit more edited on the colours. And I don't want anything that's too dark in it or too fluorescent-y bright. I want something that's just a tiny bit more subtle. I mean, I still want a massive variety of colour, but I think in my Happy Scrappy ones I had sort of some really sort of charcoaly, practically black ones, and some navies, and some really very in your face, almost luminescent ones, which again I love, but I just want this one to be a little bit different, I think. Right, so I think that's it. Is there anything else to do? Oh, pips. I haven't talked about pips yet, have I? I went straight to incoming goodies and forgot pips altogether. So very quickly then on patterns in progress. My last pattern is the Peachy Geometric Shawl, which is that one. That's out now. It was out last week, I think. Yeah, but that's available. It's available in UK and US terms. Woo! Sorry, I'm just pleased with myself over that for some reason. Yeah, so that's up on Ravelry. So people have been buying it. So thank you very much for purchasing. If you have, I truly do. I do really appreciate it. I know you sort of keep saying it, and it sort of feels like it's just yeah. That's what you always say, but you know, it's everything, isn't it? It means so much to me, because I wouldn't be here being able to do it if it wasn't for lovely people sort of supporting me in this way. So yeah, I really do appreciate it. Which is sort of part of another reason why I sort of keep doing free patterns as well, and I want to sort of get them up in US terms as well, because you know, I want to sort of, it's a two-way street is what I'm saying, you know. I do appreciate you purchasing them, but also, you know, I want to sort of support you as crafty crafters being able to make lovely things as well. So to sort of make it as available to as many people as possible is good, but also, you know, to keep doing free things as well, which leads me nicely on to actually I'm sort of updating my blanket patterns as well, my free blanket patterns. They've sort of been, they're on the blog, but they're all in various states. Some are in tutorials, some are sort of written up a bit here, but another bit's a tutorial, and I'm trying to collate all the information and put it in a PDF so that it's just a bit easier for everyone to sort of, you know, download. And you can sort of go off and find the tutorials if you need to, or, you know, I'll link them in the PDF so that they're easy and everything's in one place. And if you wanted to go and read the original posts where I sort of talk about them in more general terms, obviously they will still be there, but just I thought just all the facts and actual pattern information in one place would be no bad thing. So I'm working on that at the moment, and I'm also working on getting patterns generally translated into US terms. So I've got my Peachy Geometric is in it already, and Granny Keeps Warm is available in US terms, and what else is getting Ziggy. My last ones that I've been releasing, basically I've done US versions as well, but I'm going back and I'm updating some of my other ones with US versions as well. So I've done the Barley Wrap, so I need to release that, and Victoria Shawl, that will be coming soon, and I'm working on the Painted Roses blanket I'm going to do in US terms as well. So that's in the works. And what was the other thing? There was one more pattern-y related-y thing. Oh, Spice of Life blanket, that was it. I don't know if you'll be aware of this, but the Spice of Life blanket I did with Black Sheep Wools a couple of years ago now, I think. I think it's 2 years ago now. Yeah, so that was a crochet along that I did with Black Sheep Wools, and it was originally released in 6 parts. Well, I finally got around to combining that, so the pattern is just in one PDF. So the original pattern that was in 6 parts has been combined into a PDF and translated into US terms by a lovely lady that I'm not going to remember the name of now, which is annoying. I think it might be Anna. Anyway, it was very kindly done by this person that I can't remember the name of. So that was available, and then so what I've done is I've done the same, so that the original one in UK terms is now all just in one PDF. So that's pretty much as it was. The only thing I've done is included some of the just useful information that I put on the blog at the time of the CAL. So sort of resizing information, bit of information about swatching and gauge, and I did, when I released each section at the time, I did some tips on how to work that section, so I've put those all in the PDF as well. So again, it's just something that hopefully you'll be able to find all the information you need in one place a little bit easier. So hopefully that will be helpful. Yeah, so that's that. So I think that's it from me this week. I think I might have actually managed to get it well under the hour this time, which would be a good thing. I seem to have struggled to, you know, get them under an hour the last couple of times, which is, you know, it's quite long, isn't it? And a bit much, I think. So I like to make them a bit shorter if I can, sort of around the 30 or 40 minute mark. So hopefully this one will be a bit closer to that. But anyway, I hope you have a lovely crafty time until I see you next, and enjoy making lots of lovely things. And if you're going to Edinburgh Yarn Festival, I hope I will see you there, and I look forward to meeting you and squishing all the lovely yarn and having fun. And yeah, and I'll come back and tell you all about it. I'm hoping I actually remember to take some video while I'm there. I'm going to attempt to do some sort of vlogging thing, which after the Vlogmas at Christmas I was really inspired to have a go at that, and I think I sort of took about 3 5-minute videos that I put in the Christmas one, and then I haven't done it since. So I'm going to try and do a bit better at that, so I've got something to show you when I come back. So yeah, well, have a lovely time, and I will see you next time. Bye!